Hey guys, my name's Nima and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be filming my May wrap-up, which I actually didn't read that many books in May. I read 12 books. Some people may think that's a lot, others might not think it's that much, but I had a very difficult month this month because just a lot of things have been going on. Also, I just haven't really been in the reading mood in the first place. So that's why I've only read 12 books this month. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to address all the things that are going on right now in the country. As you guys know, or I'd hope you know, there has been quite the cultural unrest going on in the country. I want to take a moment to thank all of my booktuber friends and just most of the booktubers who are talking about what's going on and really using their platform to talk about these important topics. And I'm just so grateful to be in such a loving community. Obviously, not everybody has been as loving and supportive as others, but mostly every video I click, they're talking about it, they're addressing it, and they're leaving links down below. It is a very hard time for me, being a Black young woman as well as other people, and it's just very saddening to see. I want to give thanks to those people for using their platforms. Another thing is that I will also be leaving links down below of places to donate, videos that you can watch that will donate by using their AdSense, and just petitions and different things. Although most people have been supportive, a lot of my favorite booktubers haven't been, and it's very hard to see because, just for example, like this week there is a readathon taking place, and the person who is running it hasn't been that supportive of what's going on, so I decided no longer to participate in the readathon. But yeah, I just want to give thanks, and I want to say that everybody has been so great, and I'm so grateful to be in this, for the most part, loving community. And don't forget to check down below all of the links that I will provide for you guys if you are interested, which I hope you are. So another thing that I want to address is that I hit 100 subscribers, and I'm halfway to 200, which is so great. Thank you so much to the people who are subscribing to me. But as much as I am super grateful for it, I can't help but think that I'm gaining all these subscribers because I'm Black, which I don't even know where to begin with that. I've gained subscribers super fast during this time, and I don't want subscribers who are just subscribing because to fill in a quota, being like, yes, I'm supporting Black booktubers. I want subscribers who genuinely care about what I have to say and the books that I have to read. And it just looks stupid, you know? Like, please don't subscribe to me just because I'm Black. Subscribe to me because you care and you want to hear what I have to say. But the people who are subscribed to me for me and my content, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. And thank you so much for helping me reach 100 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first book that I read in May is Saint by E.M. Snow. This is actually a bully romance about a girl who is joining a private school. She's very poor, and she is from she's from a whole different state, and she moves to California, and people are bullying her and they're mean to her, and she catches the attention of kind of the school bad boy and the school's most favorite person. This book was really good. This part 2 came out. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm gonna go into really depth about these books. If you want, you can check out my Goodreads, which I have full reviews of all these books on there. This book that I read was The Sham by Stella Gray, and I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I actually received this book as an ARC, and it wasn't awful, but it was interesting. And their dad was involved with a sex trafficking ring, and he owns a modeling company, and he was putting the models in the company through sex trafficking. And so the sons of that dad had to deal with the repercussions, and they have to rebuild the whole brand because they are a huge modeling agency. And so there's a girl, she's a model, she's very beautiful, and they have to put out a certain image that they're like a family wholesome image. And so they asked the model to marry one of the leaders of the agency, and that's their romance. They get engaged. I thought it was interesting. I never read books about models, so I thought this was pretty cool, but I didn't really like it that much. I did give it 3 stars, and I always feel bad about giving arcs that I received 3 stars, but honestly, this book just wasn't it for me. I may continue with the series, I may not. Time will tell. The next book I read was He Hates Me Not by Rena Kent, and I gave this book 4 stars. I was so excited about this book. If you watch my April wrap up, I talked about that book, the first book, and the second book wasn't as good as the first one. It's a stalker romance, and it's kind of like a mafia romance, stalker mafia romance. It was very good. I did deduct a star because I was confused about a lot of things, and a lot of things didn't have that much clarity or explanation. So either way, this duet was very good as a whole, and I recommend it to anybody who likes stalker romances and mafia romances. The next book I read was The Prince and the Pawn by B.B. Reed. Oh my goodness, B.B. Reed's series. Okay, a lot of people don't like B.B. Reed's series because they think it's kind of a lot, it's too much, and I am not that way at all. B.B. Reed writes fabulous books, and this was actually the last book in her When Rivals Play series, and this book was just so good. It's a biracial couple. Wow, this book was just an amazing way to wrap up the series, and it's about this couple, and all throughout the other books, you kind of hear about the couple. They're in the same friend group, but the couple never actually became a couple. They were just kind of friends. They liked each other. They're exclusive, but he never wanted to commit to her because he has problems at home with his family, and his dad is very dangerous, and if he got wind of Vaughn having a weakness, he would exploit it. So he decided to keep Tyra at arm's length. It shows the relationship and how much they evolve, and it is just so good. I gave it 5 stars. Everything about it was amazing. I really recommend the When Rivals Play series. This was a perfect way to wrap up the series. It was just so good. The next book I read was The Hunter by L.J. Shen, and I ended up giving this book 5 stars. This was actually her first book in her new series, The Boston Bells, and I loved it. I love the whole dynamic. It kind of got me a little bit to get into the book because I was like, okay, I don't care. But it ended up actually being very good, and people think L.J. Shen is overrated and they don't really like her books, but I honestly like her books. Some books, I've felt like her most recent books have been kind of rushed through. She releases so many books a year that it's like she's just dishing it out, and that makes it hard to really enjoy her books because I feel like she's not really taking the care. But I think she's finally out of the rut, in my opinion. I absolutely love this book. It's about this girl is the daughter of a couple in a previous book, and Hunter, and the girl's name is Sailor, and she's an archer. She is planning on going to the Olympics. She takes it very seriously, and Hunter just got into trouble. He was involved in a sex tape, and the dad is sending him away to Boston to kind of get his life back on track, and he has hired Sailor to live with Hunter and get him back on track. He's not allowed to have any sex. He's not allowed to drink at all, and she's kind of his babysitter, and it kind of shows their relationship. It's forced proximity, and it was just so good. I loved it. Everything about this was just so good. So I highly recommend you read this book. I really enjoyed it. The next book I read was My Sweet Bully by Penny Wilder, I think. And I also received this book as an ARC, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. It's about this girl who sees something that she's not supposed to see. It's about the main hero and his brother actually commit a crime, and she sees it. She just moved to town and she sees the crime, and she has to go be a witness on trial, and she ends up sending the brother to jail. And she doesn't know that when fall comes around, she's actually going to be at school with the hero who she just sent the brother to jail for. And I thought this book was very interesting. It was an interesting dynamic but it just didn't give me what I needed in a good romance. I thought it was very rushed. I didn't like it. I gave this book 3 stars, and it was just alright. Like, I don't know. I forget why I didn't like it, but it's in my Goodreads. It will all be down there. The next book I read was Forbidden Fate by Mary Catherine Gibbard. And this book, I was waiting for this book, and it did not disappoint. It was so good. There's actually one more book coming out. I thought it would be a duet, but it's not going to be a duet. It is The Crown Elite series, I think is the name of it. It's about this the Crowns, and the Crowns are kind of like American royalty. They have a huge manor, and they have workers who work there. This is also a biracial couple. Grayson Crown, who is the hero, he falls in love with Story and is actually engaged, and his grandfather kind of rules over his life, and every move that he makes has to be for the Crown family name, and he's battling what to do. He just got married to Charlotte, but he's in love with Story, and it is so good. It is such a amazing read. It's a huge book, so I was very happy, and you should honestly give this book a try. The first book is called Stolen Soulmate, so it was just amazing. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. The next book I read was The Catch, and I actually read this book for the mini contemporary-a-thon, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's about this girl who has trust issues, and she goes on a trip for her friend's bachelorette party to the beach, where she meets a guy, and the guy is kind of enraptured by her. He wants to know her more, and she's kind of putting him at arm's length. She's like, no, I know how this goes. F boys, like, I'm done. And she finds out that she actually lives very close to the guy. They live like 30 minutes away or an hour away, I can't remember. And they ended up going on dates, and she kind of sabotages their relationship a little bit, and because she just doesn't want it to be true. And it's amazing. I really like this book. I gave it 4 stars. You can really see the growth of her, and it was amazing. This is also by Lauren May. I don't think I mentioned that. I gave this book 4 stars, and I can't wait for book 2 because it's about her best friend, and I think a bartender in the book, and I'm very interested about it. So I think it's the perfect summery read. It gave off summer vibes, and I loved it. The next book I read was Desperate Measures, and that was also for the mini contemporary-a-thon, which, let me know if that book is a contemporary book. I couldn't tell. It's actually a Latin retelling. It's about Jasmine and Jafar, and it kind of deals like, I think, is a mafia or like gangs. And Jasmine never leaves her. I'm not going to talk about this book as much as well, because again, that is in my contemporary-a-thon vlog, but I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about it. This girl named Jasmine, she is the daughter of one of the most powerful men in Carver City, and the dad keeps her away in the house. She's not allowed to see anyone because he's saving her for someone, and she has to go through an arranged marriage. It ends up that Jafar, Jafar, he is in love with Jasmine, or he's interested in her. Jafar decides to overrule the dad, overpower him, kill him, and take Jasmine off for himself. So it's kind of that book. It's very good. I liked it. I think I gave it 4 stars. You can hear more about my thoughts in the vlog that I filmed. The next book I read was My Favorite Souvenir by Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward. This is about this girl who just ends, and she decides to still go on the honeymoon because why would she waste all that money, and she can still have fun even though she's not getting married. So she decides to go on it, and while she's there, she's in Colorado, and while she's there, it actually gets snowed in, and she has to stay at a hotel. And at the hotel, she meets this guy, and she and him hit it off right away, and they decide to travel the country together before they have to go back to their lives. And she's kind of dealing with, well, I like this guy, but I just got out of engagement. I don't know what to do. And I thought this book was so good. It's very heavily based in New Orleans. If You know me, you know I love New Orleans. My grandparents live there and I visit every summer, and it's a big part of my life. So I loved hearing about them in New Orleans. So I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite book, but it was still very good. This was actually my first like kind of road trip romance, and it was amazing. I really liked it. The next book I read was Shy Girls Write It Better, and I actually heard about this book through Bree's channel and Love and Words, and it's about this girl. She's a secretary for a company, and she's actually an author. She writes romance books, and instead of giving her boss's boss papers for the company, she ends up actually giving him a manuscript for her book, and her book is very sexual and it gets wild. I actually really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. I listened to this book on Audible Escape. It was amazing. The boss kind of already was interested in her, so they get together. I thought it was very cute, very fast. It was exactly what I needed because I've been in a reading slump. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. The last book I read was Crowned by Hate by Amo Jones, and I love Amo Jones. She's one of my favorite authors, and this book is actually a duet. I only read the first one. I'm planning on reading the second one very soon. It's about this girl, and she is actually the president's daughter, and she has a very bad past. Ends up doing something very bad to someone, and all of a sudden that guy is back into her life, and he says that she has to marry him or else she's gonna press charges and release the video of her doing that bad thing. And so they have to live together, and it's kind of a blackmail relationship, but ended up being very good. I don't know why I gave it 5 stars because some things in it very bad. Amo Jones did not put a trigger warning for this book. There's a trigger warning for rape, but after the scene happened, I was looking everywhere for this trigger warning. I was like, where is the trigger warning? And I was kind of annoyed at that because if there was a trigger warning, it wasn't easy to find. It should have been like in big print right at the beginning of the story to say like, hey, this is what you're getting into. It was a full descriptive scene, so that made me kind of uncomfortable. I personally don't have any trigger warnings, but other people do, so just know that going into this book if you're interested. But I did enjoy it at the end of the day. It was kind of confusing at some points, but I'm excited to read the second book. That wraps up everything that I read in May. Don't forget to go down below and check out the links that are in my description box. Thank you so much for watching this video, and again, thank you so much for helping me reach 100 subscribers. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know any books that you read in May that you think I'd be interested in, and just thank you so much, and thank you so much for your support during this hard time. So goodbye. Thank you for watching this video.